Sick.
All right. Jesus Christ.
How you feeling?
I am not mentally prepared to do this. There's a dog in my room. She's licking my elbow. The door has to be closed because for some reason my brother is home. He peed on her dog bed in the middle of the night for some reason. I don't know why.
Is he a dog?
No. Maybe he was drunk. I literally no idea why. Very annoying for me. And then I got a scare for a COVID test, or I got a scare for COVID from Wednesday night. So, you know, as a pet sitter, that is damning.
Yeah, that's you can't work.
The first person you tell is a healthcare provider. The second person you tell is your pet sitter.
Or anyone who has to enter your domicile, really.
Yeah. And then, you know, one client was not happy about it, and then ended up not happy about other things. So I had to mitigate that for an hour and 15 minutes. I wouldn't say that I actually mitigated it, by the way. But, you know, doing the best I can. Like, there ended up being... I shouldn't... I'm trying not to overshare, right? But...
yeah. But also, you know, like, therapy, go for it.
Yeah, the dog had some diarrhea from bad food because I missed changing it out because of scheduling. So now, in an attempt to mitigate this client's anger, I may or may not have to pay who knows how much money in medical bills, just so they don't get mad at me and give me a bad review, which they may or may not do anyway. Usually when there's the fear that clients are going to give me bad reviews, I have a way, I feel like I have a response to, you know, like mitigate it for anyone who happens to be looking. But for this one, I don't really, so...
Yeah.
That's why I'm really trying to avoid it. I mean, I'm thinking of changing jobs anyway, because there's just too much garbage. I can't even talk straight. I'm not even thinking. Like, did that round of Salmon Run happen? Did we win? Like, but
yeah.
But like, cause pet sitting, it's just jobs all day. I might be working more at a traditional 9-to-5 job, but at the very least,
you're much more consistent.
Yeah, that will have missed. At the very least, I will have a chunk of free time that I guaranteed have, instead of like a client last minute saying, "Hey, can you come at 9 or something?" You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm mainly considering that. Plus, like, the physical labor involved with pet sitting can't be...
Yeah, you're fucking walking, man.
Can't be understated. And it's not just the walking. That's all everyone ever thinks about.
Wrestling dogs.
Yeah, there's the pulling that might cause, like, spine problems and stuff. And, like, I'm not the fittest guy of all time.
For you or the dog?
For me. Because, like, in July, I was working, like... I feel like it was like 12 hours a day or something. And then by the end of it, I, like in August, I had lower back pain and an Achilles tendon problem. So that was kind of the wake-up call that, like, this might actually cause really bad problems. Whoops, if I...
I'm just gonna throw this knife and, like, clear some space.
Yeah, that's completely fine, because there's a chance we might not win. Oh, well, the snipers are gonna be a problem.
That's a bit of an issue. Yeah,
well, just, we got it.
Nice. Or it gets people up, that actually works too.
My one friend is convinced that this is an easy weapon rotation to get to max hazard level. I'm not too sure about that. I feel like the only guaranteed way is all Grisco weapons, but...
Probably, yeah. But I feel good about this one, because it's the fucking heavy splat. Like, oh my god.
I have the aerospray, so I'll be second.
Alright, I have the umbrella, so I'll be... Fuck do I know. really know. Fuck it, I'll be Chucker, I guess. We're all Chucker here, so I will come up to provide support.
Yes.
Undercover Brella actually pretty good at swiping hordes, huh?
Yeah, it's like, I still don't think it's good in the actual game. But like, you know, when you can't get outplayed by salmonids, it seems pretty fine. Also, apparently, doing a throw and then a jump at the same time throws it farther.
I thought it was just like a general momentum thing. Is it like only jumping, or is it like jumping forward?
It's throw first and then jump, but I did not practice that, so
That does not seem correct.
Yeah.
Like I don't doubt that's how it works, but that's not how it would work in my head.
Like I retweeted a thing about it, but you know, I wonder how many people just see the Japanese and then.
2 of us are dead, realized. It's because they're throwing them at my head again.
And then go like, I can't understand this immediately, so I'm just gonna ignore it.
Or you know, like you see it and like, oh, when someone's saying it in Japanese, that clearly means they must know better because the Japanese are into the game. Clearly.
How embarrassing, by the way, that we didn't get 40. I didn't even notice it was the final wave. Like, if these weapons are so good, how didn't we get 40? I was on the ball with killing the guys.
Well, the other 3 people weren't exactly being tactical about it, were they? No one wanted to split from chucking all the eggs until they could like rush up and throw them in the basket for their own score.
Oh, sorry, Hammer. I'm so out. Wait, is Hammer even there? No, this is from old chat. Oh my god. This is an old Twitch dashboard. Okay. I didn't have the chat open. I'm losing my damn mind. So like the COVID scare cleared out some jobs, that's for sure. Some people are like, I don't care. So I'm like, okay, I'll wear a mask and sanitize and we'll see how it goes. But
yeah,
you know, some people were like, yeah, don't come here. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't really planning to.
Oh, communication errors.
Is it gonna close the game?
Let's find out. Nope.
No, okay. I was.
Thank God. You sent me that tweet of someone saying that, oh, that just closes the game now. It's like,
I don't think they were lying.
They may not have been.
I think it happened to them, at least, which is.
It might not happen every time, but it might happen sometimes.
Yeah, I think the bads of this whole COVID scare weigh out the goods. The good being I finally kind of get a break, maybe.
The bads being you might have COVID.
The bad, well, not just that, which is true. I haven't even been considering that. But then, like, you know, there's studies that COVID gives you, like, permanent brain damage, and it gets worse and worse the more times you get it. And I'm like, okay, that's not good.
Only sometimes, though, is the fun part. It's like Russian roulette in a disease.
I mean, I'm sure that, like, there's a factor to it. But
it's probably like based on like either strains or like whatever makeup it has and how it interacts with your own genetics or some shit like that. Just because of the toll it puts on your body, it probably just affects different people in different ways depending on what unseen plague they have.
Yeah, it's like having COVID sucked, but if that was all you had to deal with, I wouldn't really care that much. But now that there are like lasting effects, especially to your brain, that's like actually scary. Like for me, I want to emphasize that it's always scary for the people who are actually really negatively affected by it.
Yeah.
And you know, scary that you don't want to spread it to them, especially in my job, which is, you know, it's kind of
course it makes me
common fear. Well, it sounds like there are 2 of them. It seems like there are 2 of them. So, oh, there's one right here. Shit. I got rid of one of them.
Just don't be fancy about it. Just fucking get me instead of trying to throw a grenade directly below you. They're covered in cohawks, so I'll just get you. Someone got them, or I did get them. I don't have my volume up. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Indeed. Where'd the malls go? Oh, there it is. Someone have 5 eggs?
I guess if you don't have any more to say, I'm gonna probably try not to linger, I suppose.
Yeah,
Don't
but
have-
also because if I say more, then I'll probably say too much.
There's all things you probably don't want to say. Such as, the name and address of the person who was pissed.
Yep, I would say that exactly. But, like, just like, personal information. That
Yeah.
even though you're never going to know who it is, it's just like, it's bad form.
Yeah. Someone got that, and then group psychology occurs.
What else happened? What happened?
What did happen?
That wasn't work. I wouldn't know because literally for the entire week, I've been working like 10 hours.
We can talk about something kind of funny. I say kind of funny, it's also just, a company being a bit of a dickhead. The NVIDIA RTX 4090 came out.
Yeah, is that real?
It's real. It's a £1,700 Xbox Series S sized graphics card that doesn't fit in 99% of cases. Did you know that NVIDIA had 2 separate embargoes for reviews, one for their own and one for third parties? And they released their own one a day before sales happened, and didn't release the other one until the day of sales late into it.
Are you suggesting that it's bad? And that reviews would have damned it?
I mean, there's that, but also they specifically gave themselves a head start and forced third parties to wait a day for anyone to get reviews on if their versions work.
Well, didn't they do that with just giving... They screwed over third parties some other way too, right? Like
They did. They've been screwing them all along by basically charging the living shit out of them to the point that when EVGA pulled out of GPU production entirely, what's the word? Their profit margins only dropped by less than 10%. And that they made exclusively NVIDIA cards, so that should tell you how much of a thing NVIDIA was cutting. Basically so much that even cutting out 80% of what they produced, they only lost 10% of profit. NVIDIA has been fucking horrible. This was just a really fun, just instant demonstration of oh yeah, no, they've learned nothing and they're continuing to do it. Just openly. The mask is off, they don't care anymore. Did you also know that despite that, on one hand, the actual raw computation power of the thing is really impressive and all that, but also half of its features don't work.
What even are its features? I feel like the 30... Whatever, what's the one I have? Whatever one I have is
the
good enough.
Yeah, I mean it is, but the main feature is DLSS 3.0, the thing that lets you play at a lower resolution, and then it uses machine learning and all the rest of it to cheat the resolution for you.
Does that work?
No.
Not just on their thing, but can that work at all?
Theoretically can, because DLSS 1.0 and 2.0 did work. They have this. Oh, that's really unfortunate. What did that clip on?
Who knows? The wave breaker will do it.
It did do it too.
All right, just survive. Please. Please. The Pokemon girl, that's kind of old news, but we didn't talk about that last time.
Oh yeah.
Gavin, what do you think? What do you think about voice acting in Pokemon, Gavin? It is funny though, they released that trailer, right, with the full voice acting. And I mean,
Yeah.
you know, love the voice or hate it. It was kind
I
of
did love
pleasant.
it, by the way.
Yeah, obviously. But like it was pleasant to have. And then
You can't just do me like that, by the way.
what?
This is quite obviously. Go to hell.
But then, like, the day after, like, today, I guess. When was it? I don't know. Time doesn't exist for me anymore.
The first one was like 3 days ago.
What the fuck?
2 days ago, maybe. I'm not sure. There was like a day in between them.
But, yeah, then they released the other trailer, and it has her, and she isn't speaking. And it's, like, it's kind of jarring, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
But then everyone's like, oh, Pokemon doesn't need voice acting, and I feel bad about saying something like that, because then I look like a bad guy, but I'm gonna be honest, it does kind of just suck. It sucks. Like, it doesn't need it, but at this point, Pokemon's only good because of the Pokemon and the characters, to me. So, like, can we at least strengthen the characters a bit? That'd be nice.
The thing is, you take a gamble with that because it could very easily completely weaken the characters.
It could, but
And this is the part
well,
where the tweet response I made to Aki says it all, where it's like, oh, well, I need my, like half-dead, non-union American voice actor doing one of the seamstress voices I hear in everything, otherwise
okay,
it's not
but hold
real
on,
media.
will it have dual audio?
I did love that your response said, if you please do audio. And I was like, yeah.
Dual audio is the savior of every game with voice acting.
Like every so often you have like Square Enix where like it's just complete gambling if like the dub will come out and be completely garbage. Like the upcoming Tactics Over one sounds fucking awful. It's like why'd you even waste the money?
I was
I don't
thinking
know.
about it earlier. Like,
Yeah.
I played Final Fantasy 14 in English, and
Yeah.
like most of the time, other than like really, I only thought about this when watching your VODs. Like, I didn't even think about how it was a Japanese game with English voice acting. It just kind of felt like it fit perfectly fine, and I'm like, wow, that's new. That's a
Yeah.
new feeling, isn't it?
This is the thing with Square Enix, like their dubs go up and down the scale. So like Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 12 is like one of the high points. That one's like immaculate. But well, original audio quality aside, because
Wait, I have a
it was
question.
on a PS2 DVD. Yep.
Final Fantasy 13 is the bad one, right?
Yes, 13 is bad. Yeah.
What is Final Fantasy? He's gone. He's out of the lobby.
Yeah, I got disconnected. Give me a
Get
sec.
me out of here. Get me out of here. Okay, never mind.
Oh, is it put me in a
Communication.
match?
No,
Oh,
it
okay, no.
just took a while longer. Wow, which one is 12? I don't even know what Final Fantasy
12
12
is the one I kept saying every single model from 14 was it from. It
Yeah,
was
but
the
like,
last. It was the last PS2 one. It's set in Evilise. Like none of this means anything to you. Basically, it was like the last of the PS2 ones. It came after 10 and 11, and it was fucking excellent. It was somewhat controversial because its gameplay is essentially a prototype, not like for 14, but also in some way, like every single game after 12 derives from 12 in some way in terms of gameplay. It's
how
like
come I
you,
never fucking hear about it ever? I forgot it existed. In my head, it was just 13 again.
I mean, basically because like 13 got like blown up the hell because it was popular shit on top of it being bad, because that was when the game stress really ripped off like the masks and began going like everything not from the Anglosphere is horrible garbage made by like sexist racists.
It's
Yeah,
just, it's
with no
funny.
irony.
You have Final Fantasy 10, of course. You have Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 11, the bad MMO, of course. Oh, at least it's of course if you played Final Fantasy 14. You have Final Fantasy 13, the bad one with lightning. You have Final Fantasy 14, the really good one. You have Final Fantasy 15. It's just a gap in my mind. Like
I think that's
it goes
partly just
right.
like
It goes right to 13.
it's like because 12 wasn't unpopular. I think that was like it sold fucking gangbusters. It's done the rounds. It has like a full HD remaster that brings in like a lot of quality of life features, as well, including a lot of stuff from the Japan only re-release that like completely changed like the way skills and all work to be more like a traditional job system. If you're gonna play a version of 12, you just get like fucking remaster on anything, except maybe Switch. I don't know how it performs on that, but like PS4, PC, whatever, just get it and play that. It just works. It's so good.
Who is the protagonist?
His name is the nominal protagonist is like the teenage boy called Van. The actual protagonist is Princess Ash and her like errant knight Bosch.
Why have I never heard of these characters?
So like 12 is extremely good and all that, but no one talks about it because it doesn't have any. Well, actually, it has stuff is like I would argue is like fucking funnier than the laughing scene in 10, but not in a haha this is bad way, but in a haha this is just fucking absurd and funny in itself. But it's also not easily as memeable, and also because it wasn't like the one everyone went apeshit over. Like 10 is essentially like a second Final Fantasy 7 in terms of its popularity.
Okay, not in terms of how good it actually is.
No, because if you ask me, 10 is garbage.
Look, I love 10. I don't. If you asked me if it was a good game, I'd say nah, probably not. Because it's long. It's a long game.
Whereas like
I got
someone over there had an egg for like 10 years. I got it. Yep. What you saying?
Like I was watching Mike Panutz play it when he did, and I was like, man, this drags. This game kind of drags.
Yeah.
It's very long-winded.
Fun fact: the guy who directed Final Fantasy X inside on that thing was also the guy who directed Final Fantasy 13.
Oh shit!
So you know.
How do we want to do this, gamers? Looks like the roller is here. I don't think this is the spot to do it, but once again, I haven't actually looked into the proper spot here.
I don't think this person has either. They're probably just choosing the ramp because they're like, oh, this makes sense. Being up the ramp is not exactly smart, I suppose.
I don't think I've gotten the splatling this entire time. I forgot it was in the rotation.
It's so lovely to have.
Yeah, now Gavin can shut up, everyone. He can finally shut his trap. Where are they going?
What the fuck happened there?
I hate the special. Please, for the love of Christ, give me the Trizuka.
I had the reslider, but they just kind of like shoved me into the void instead of me just rushing through them. But yeah, like 12 doesn't have like the same insane level as 10, and it doesn't have the infamy of 13, so it kind of gets lost in the in-between.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a classic. I mean, it kind of is getting there, isn't it? But for people like me, it's like that still feels modern, you know, compared to like 7. It's not one you would
know, and it's definitely not it's not venerable like 7 though. But if you were to ask me, like if I were to put like in my like full rankings, 12 used to be my second favorite, and then was only eventually topped by very specifically 14 Shadowbringers.
You can say 14 as a whole. Come on.
Nah, because if it was 14 as a whole, 12 would be back in second.
So where did you now rank all of the separate expansions, which actually isn't ridiculous, but
no, because like they're functionally in some ways kind of like separate games, really.
They are. I have them separate in my backloggery.
Like it's kind of like how like there's fucking like a 13.2 and 13.3 and all that. It's the same kind of idea. It's just they're expansions instead of individual retail releases. But like functionally they're the same idea. It's just like a direct sequel to one of the main games. because it continues the story and all that. And in that case, so like to me, essentially what I'm saying is, you know, like 14.4 is like fucking immaculate. But you know, yeah, like I really like 12. 12 is fucking excellent. I would heartily recommend it. It is, you know, I will say like I can sort of also like from many angles see why it isn't as popular. For one, it is distinctly more complex than like Final Fantasy X is. Like, just on the same console, it is distinctly more complex than 13. It's distinctly more complex than most of them, not all, but most. Because of how it wants you to handle your party and like job system and building and all that.
Need one more egg.
Someone has it, but they're all from like the other side of the fucking country. Get in there, you asshole.
Okay, good. I was going on a suicide mission to try to kill a boss in time.
You know, a game I'm extremely passionate about for many reasons. Like the guy who directed it for most of its development time before he had to leave for health reasons is Yasumi Matsuno, and he is the guy who not only wrote 12 but also wrote Tactics and a whole lot of like other excellent stuff, including the upcoming Tactics Ogre and stuff like that. Like just fucking excellent writer. Pretty much everything he does. Stuff like that. How did we get onto this? I feel like there was some original
Final
point
Fantasy 12.
Oh, sorry, we're talking about
voice acting, yes.
I mentioned like Square Enix stuff is like a roulette, but like sometimes you get stuff like, have you heard the Trials of Mana dub?
Trials of Mana.
Yeah. So sometimes you get stuff like Final Fantasy 12, which is fucking immaculate. Sometimes you get stuff like Final Fantasy 14, pretty good. Stuff like Final Fantasy 7R, really good. And then sometimes you get Trials of Mana.
All that matters is that Emmett Selk is better in English. And everyone else could be bad, and that would still make up for it.
I disagree entirely. But
what an iconic character.
You know who I think is really good in English and better than Japanese in some ways? Gaius. I love his English speech.
I mean, I'm like... You'd think like it would be kind of the same idea in Japanese.
They have two different ways of doing it, and the guy, like, the English voice actor is doing like a checkmate his voice. Which is, in some ways, more fitting than the straight, like, monologue the Japanese voices do. They're both really good, but...
Alphina's voice is funny. I don't know if it's better, but that doesn't really matter. He sounds like he should, I think.
He sounds like a little nebbish dork.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly.
In some ways, he sounds like too upright and like honest in Japanese, and then in English, he does sound like a dork.
He sounds like he deserves what he gets. Get me out.
That's deeply unfortunate.
This is bad, by the way. No luring going on whatsoever. I think squeaky sealers are coming from this direction.
We chucked like 9 eggs up to the basket, and there's someone up there, and they just haven't done anything.
You can say I'm dead. Don't worry.
No, I mean like you had a horde to fight, so it's kind of like I'll just walk.
No, it's still better to turn around and like just throw one to revive someone. Like I feel like what people don't realize is that reviving people is the second most important thing you can do in this mode. How do we only have 14? Oh wait, I have an idea, or I have a thought as to why. I have to remember that you can.
Eggs here, but
Enough eggs where?
There's like a lot of eggs around. Well, they're being stolen, but there were a lot of eggs by base. Down this ramp and stuff.
Oh, I can't throw eggs though.
Not with the inkjet, no. And look, we got the wave 3. But like, I don't know, I'm of 2 minds because I'm like, yeah, like really good voice acting can enhance an experience. Like Xenoblade 1 would not be the immaculate god game it is without those voice actors. It would be incredibly good, but they heighten the experience in a way that like a Japanese dub just doesn't. Because that's just the extremely hilarious voice acting of like, you know, British theater actors who've never done like earnest British like theater actors who've never done voice acting jobs. It's just like, you know, that worked immaculately for Demon Souls, that worked immaculately for Xenoblade.
Honestly, you could probably say it worked immaculately for all Rare's games.
You know, in a way, yeah, I suppose.
I love Rare. They're so unashamedly British. It's the best.
It's actually fitting because like recently I've actually been replaying Banjo-Kazooie on this Enigma Series X just because like
why?
To test like stuff on the Series X ages ago, I started a file on it, and then when I was like, I need to like kill time without like starting a new game like 2 nights ago, I was like, I think I'll just pick up where you left off in Banjo-Kazooie.
Where did you leave off?
I mean, like Treasure Trove Cove.
Oh, come on. That's nothing.
I'd only like played it a quick bit to test it.
Did you ever beat Banjo-Kazooie?
As a kid, yeah.
Okay, good. You 100%ed it. That's
Not
what I mean.
100% did it.
What?
You know the gimmick of like N64 Banjo-Kazooie?
Okay, yes, it does suck. But like, come on, you were hardcore or something, right?
I mean, I also had like other games to play as a kid, and after a point, I'm kind of like, this is bullshit. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. There's also some jiggies I just didn't know. I didn't have like internet to look up or anyone else who's playing this game to ask. I didn't know you could shoot Clanker's teeth in.
That does take a while, does it? I love watching blind Banjo playthroughs because, one, who doesn't know Banjo at this point? It's kind of rare, right? I mean, it's like it's a nice rarity, right? Like if you see someone who has never played Mario 64 before, that's like you have to treasure that moment because that's a dying breed, man. They're endangered. Do you not get more ink while you're in ink? Like, what was that? I jumped off of the fish stick and I was still getting ink at submerged speed.
I think it like lingers a little bit. But yeah, it's very fun seeing a lot of things like I categorically recognize as an extremely UK upbringing thing. And like all the stuff about the card grunty is like disgusting and all that. It's like this is absolutely just that bizarre trend we had for ages about like, you know, very peculiar, disgusting things being cool and popular actually.
Also just how they use very British words. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those things where it's kind of I don't even notice that. It just makes sense to me that they say things like this, and then I had to realize actually, yeah, no, that wouldn't make a lot of sense to anyone else. It would seem weird to people not from here.
Like you see the word knackered, and you're like, oh rare, oh rare. Alright, we gotta actually get these eggs in. I have the crab tank. I don't know if you have the skill that would help them down there.
A Booyamon.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, do that. Do it twice even.
I would, but I got like knockbacked directly into a steelhead egg.
Egg? Is that what he
whatever.
just called it?
Called it an egg, yes. It's been a long time.
Anyway, if Greg spawns, we lose. It's that easy. It's that simple. This is it. This is it. Shit, there are 3 eggs in the basket. Shit. Flying fucker. If I was host, we could have done that. If not, it would have been up in the air. 2022, good year, good year. We have 11 minutes.
Yeah, like I don't know. At the same time, I'm also kind of in this ambivalent mood where I'm kind of like, not everything needs voice acting, and I actually find it charming when some stuff doesn't. In
Yeah,
this
that's
case,
fair, but
it's kind of like it's not even just like, oh, I don't think Pokemon needs it, but I'm just kind of like, maybe it just shouldn't have it because fuck it, learn to read.
I think they shouldn't. This is just goes back to my claim that everything in Pokemon looks worse in 3D. I don't think they should have the characters' mouths talking. But then how do you not do that in a 3D game? You know?
I mean, I don't know, like, 'cause, like, not only Pokemon does that, lots of stuff that has like unvoiced scenes does that, and kind of like, it would look unnatural if you didn't.
Yeah, it's not a good spot to be in, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if they want, like, the other part of it is they would need more dev time. Like that's just like the long
Which
and
they
short
will
of it,
never get.
which they will never get
We already know
because
that, though.
this is a horrible thresher mill, and that's kind of the thing of like, this is just suffering and chaos from this horrible thresher mill. That, like, where does it start? Where does it end?
I mean, I think it's still good to criticize them, though,
Oh
assuming
no,
it
like
reaches the
absolutely,
Pokemon company's ears.
absolutely. It's just, it won't. But you might as well keep saying it because you're right. It's like fair to have like such criticisms.
Wow, look at this. I thought, what happened to the guy, the Splatling getting this?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Fuck is that going?
What a throw, by the way. What a throw. What a Chad. I'm talking about myself.
So the actual Pokemon they revealed just looks kind of silly, and
I honestly didn't
took
even...
its eyes and nose to the same thing like 2 different times in 2 different ways.
I didn't even look at it, honestly.
It like, looks alright. It has an interesting ability where every time it gets hit, it will just amp its next electric elemental attack.
Oh, great. Amping in Pokemon now. I've had enough of this.
I was hoping I turned around and saw that you walked in the water.
No. I'm not... I don't think I'll ever be that, wasted. That distracted. That mentally distraught.
Ooh, that was it.
Did that not kill him? Are you kidding me?
Fuck me then. Oh, it's a second Moz. A third Moz.
I love remembering that egg throw damages lessers. Missiles. Watch the rain.
we have ended, so I didn't get killed. Or I guess maybe I still had invincibility. I don't know. Yeah. Is there anything else like particularly big? There was like Microsoft and Sony been going back and forth arguing about whether or not it's too monopolistic for them to buy Activision, and they've been trying to essentially downsell. Microsoft's been very desperately trying to downsell itself to regulators to try and convince them that actually it's totally fine that they
They're
should be allowed to do it.
regulators?
There are regulators, in
I don't
particular, they're
believe
having
you.
a lot of trouble with the UK one, who's kind of we don't like the look of this. You do have the answer just for this. And one of the extremely funny things they claimed this week is that actually we are so bad at this that PlayStation has literally 3 times the install base that we do. So even if they said the exact line, if every single Call of Duty player jumped to using Xbox exclusively, there would still be more PlayStation players. Which is, veracity of any of that statement aside, it sounds like total garbage to be honest. Veracity of any of that aside, is literally just them going, we are so shit at this that buying the 3rd biggest publisher in the industry would still not help us in any way.
True.
It's they're lying. My view is that they're fucking lying. I don't doubt that there are more PlayStation users than Xbox ones because they just haven't been doing fucking anything really. When was the last Microsoft published game? Lord knows. But, it's still just fucking hilarious and silly that they thought they could just say that and it'd be fine.
I really needed that win. I really need the money at the end of this. And I don't think we'll get it if we play another round.
Let's see.
Never mind, we're good!
Hey!
Let's science it.
Let's see how it is at the end of a shift.
Because, I don't know if you've seen my tweets where you get negative points.
I have, yes.
So I don't think we'll actually get anything when it rolls over. But we do still get codes doing the stuff. I know that. Because my friend was like, hey, we should risk this. And I'm like, we really shouldn't. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, okay, this will be good science.
Let's see. Well, it's dark times, so... Okay, that's not too bad.
Not on the tower. Not on the tower.
I know, but this guy's directly underneath me. I'll get down in a minute.
I'm not... No, kill this thing. Kill this thing before Mr. Poppins ruins it for everyone. I have the heavy slowed, so I'm not dealing with the little guys.
That's fine. I have the aerospray, so I will where I can. I wish you mean if, JPEG stops you walking in front of me.
I was gonna egg throw it and get them off me, which would have been more effective, I think.
Sorry, I was over here.
Oh, Jesus.
How did that not get him up? Oh, that's unfortunate. Stuck between 2 drills there.
There we go.
Sorry.
I couldn't work as efficient. We should just stuck together.
Yeah.
Because, I would say I was the MVP of that one. I think I single-handedly popped 80% of those growers.
No thanks to our dear teammates, one of whom just literally kept trying to put himself in front of me. I guess because he thought like, oh, I have a shield. It's like, well, you're literally like shielding the enemies from all of my attacks.
But always coming for me. Fuck you. I don't like it mattered.
No, I would say it would be better to like kill it here, to be honest. Even all of this was like hunting. Is he like idling over there? What the fuck's he doing?
They're coming from behind the basket, so that's good knowledge. I don't know what weapon you have, but
Umbrella.
if it was the heavy SWAT wing, you could probably just camp the base. I'll kill enemies on the back, and then we hope our teammates don't fucking kill them.
Well, I just got completely rinsed by that.
There are two snipers, so I'm just gonna, you know.
The problems is using the inkjet at base at nothing. Excellent.
No, why the fuck did it spawn that? Well, I'm dead all the way at one ramp. If only.
Fuck's sake. Fine. I'll actually come out.
Oh, two Gregs. Well, that would explain it.
Oh, they're both dead. Or one dead, rather.
Hopefully someone's at the basket.
No one's at the basket. Because of course they aren't. Why would they be?
Oh, they're probably at the basket. They're just kind of like dead. When is this stupid movie night? In 3 minutes. Okay. I was gonna say we could probably just roll into the next session, but
Prior obligation.
I have to watch a Gremlins 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Gremlins 1
Is
and 2
it?
are like, yeah, Gremlins 1 and 2 are like perfectly fine movies. Gremlins 2 is like one of the best sequels ever made.
Okay.
Fucking, I really like that movie. It's like they're stuff from my childhood.
What the fuck?
What?
I don't know, it just seems like the last movie you would ever care about.
At least 2 of our cats have been named after the characters from Gremlins.
It just seems like you would only like it ironically because it's a little freak, which I think is why my friends like it so much, which is why I want to watch it. But
I like it as a straight movie. It's fucking, it's funny. It's fun, silly. Gremlins 2 more so, but that's what makes it good.
Alright, well, I gotta leave to watch Gremlins, so...
You'll never get cultured. Also, like, when are we gonna like sit down and watch these movies? Goddamn.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I was, you know, I was super busy. It's only 2 free hours a day to my life, so I think with the COVID thing, that's dying down. So I have to get my surprise. Your life is sorted now, so I have to figure out what I want to do because I should probably focus on like employment questions and things like that instead of anime movies. But you know what I would and probably am going to end up actually doing anyway, so who knows? Anyway, that's that. Goodbye.
Bye, Mamley. He showed up at the end.
You did? Oh, fuck, I had Discord open. I will see ya.
Bye.